right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
A daring escape, a cross-country manhunt. No one had seen anything like it.
I have.
Take a look at what happened.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to find out and search every house, hospital, hotel, back road, and back water for Mr. Mark J. Roberts.
Let me get my shoes. Got you, sir. I got you. Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay, stop. Yeah, and he's following them along, right? And he's grabbing them. Look at him grabbing the photographers. Look, he's telling them where to stand and what to do. I mean, it's clearly staged. Look what he's doing.
It could just be his ear. It could just be his ear. He's walking.
Nothing is what it seems.
Ex-U.S. Marines, Special Forces, ex-CIA, Black Ops.
No one can be trusted.
I got set up from the word go.
This is a ruthless killer who committed murder in cold blood.
Stop, folks! Stop!
You have an active shooter. Look at him. And he makes himself the biggest target right in the line from that shooter 200 yards away on the roof, right in front of Charlie. He is right in the middle. That is not human. That man is either violently ill or
what do we
he's
know
part
about
of this.
Him? Has he been interviewed?
Yes, he's being interviewed right now.
Getting right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
You would think that. So there's somebody on the roof right there? Just saying?
Huh.
He just ran from over, where's my finger? Whoa. From over there, ran in. And now he's right there. Just saying.
They issued 2 images of what they called a person of interest. A man of university age, in baseball cap and shades, wearing a jumper, bearing what appears to be the American flag and eagle.
I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him. What he did is disgraceful. Charlie Kirk was a great person, a great man, great in every way, especially with youth. And what he did, what this man did, was disgraceful. So hopefully we'll have him and we will deal with him very appropriately.
Hello. God bless all of you for coming here from all over the world to honor and celebrate my Charlie. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless you.
Did you know Erica Kirk once had a surprising connection to Donald Trump? Long before Erica Kirk became known as the wife of Charlie Kirk, she actually competed in the 2012 Miss USA pageant, representing Arizona.
Erica Fronsvich, 23, Arizona.
Arizona.
And here's the twist. At the time, the Miss USA organization was owned by Donald Trump. That means Erica was part of a Trump-owned pageant years before she'd later be seen hugging him at her husband's memorial.
The first runner-up. Scottsdale, Caitlin Willenchik. That means your new Miss Arizona USA 2012 is Erica Franzwey. Your new Miss Arizona USA. Let's get that crown on her head. Congratulations, Erica Franzwey, and happy birthday, Erica Franzwey. Congratulations.
One of the accounts coming out tonight is from Tasha Dixon.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
She was 18 years old at the time, and she describes how Donald Trump allegedly walked in on her backstage at the 2001 Miss USA pageant, which he owned at the time.
Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis.
Dixon, the now former Miss Arizona, says Trump seemed to take advantage of the contestants being in a compromised position.
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him, get his attention.
Ironically, the theme of the pageant that year, empowering women.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump owned the pageant for the reason to utilize his power to get, around beautiful women.
Dixon says she's speaking out now because of these recently unearthed comments from 2005. On the Howard Stern show, Trump admitted to pushing the boundaries of his power as the owner of the Miss USA beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So there's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, the Donald has scored. Whoa. Oh, my man.
These new allegations against the Republican nominee come, of course, on the heels of that now infamous Access Hollywood video that surfaced last Friday.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Trump has apologized several times and characterized his comments on the tape as locker room talk, denying in this past Sunday's debate that he's guilty of what he described in that video, which would amount to sexual assault.
Grab him by the I can do anything. I have tremendous respect for women.
Have you ever done those
women
things?
Have respect for me. And I will tell you, no, I have not.
Bringing your crown. Yes, the shiny, sparkly hat.
What else are you doing to prepare for the contest?
A lot of people are preparing for your evening wear and your swimsuit and then answering questions on stage and also in your interview. But to me, there's so much more preparing when it comes to being in the community and getting involved and meeting new people and really just being an ambassador for your state. That's what it's all about.
And we have some pictures of you doing some of your good work around the valley. Hopefully we can show them to you, but tell me about some of the stuff you're doing.
Well, right now I'm really making a conscious effort to focus on our military. To me, they're one of the main reasons why I have the freedom of being Miss Arizona USA, and it's an honor to represent my state at its 100th birthday, but I'm making sure that I'm doing things in the community, getting out and helping people. I'm really active actually with my nonprofit called Everyday Heroes Like You. We're entering our 5th year, so I started it when I was 17, so I've been able to travel to the Pentagon, I've been able to meet General Salazar, who's actually out here in Arizona, and I've also been able to donate a Johnny's Locker to the Sojourner Center, which you're looking at right now.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of things that have been going on, from working in the military, to working in the military, to working in the military, to traveling, to just being able to get out there and
a lot of work.
Support our state.
We're excited to hear about this, and now we're going to be watching out for you in June.
Yeah.
And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us. We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
Did you need something like this for you to create a war to the point where the re-election percentage of a president goes so high when there's a war so you can get re-elected? Maybe. Is it because the amount of chaos you learned in 2020 the elections was so chaotic, so it increases the chance of you being able to win another election because the more chaotic it was, you can tell people what we're going to be doing and they're already accustomed to it. Maybe they'll be more open-minded to it. Maybe. Is it because maybe even on the other side for me that I think about Netanyahu and Israel? First of all, who has the best secret intelligence in the world?
Mossad.
You mean to tell me?
No.
You mean to tell me these guys have been that low-key underground for a year, built a city like the one in Israel, and they trained their guys to go in and how to break into homes and how to take people hostage, and you're telling me you didn't know? Seriously? And Egypt comes out. By the way, the story came out. It's like, well, you know, we told them, we warned them that something was taking place. Another story came out about Egypt. Rob, if you tell me what page it's on.
Then they said they didn't. They're going back and forth.
Yeah, and then they're saying they didn't. You're like, so make up your mind. Did you know or did you not know? So what is really going on? So then I go a layer deeper, and I'll turn it over to you. Is, okay, did Israel almost, you know, because I'm talking to this other guy, and he says, I said, you realize what happened in 2014? He says, yeah. I said, 2014 when they, you know, the 3 girls were kidnapped, and then, you know, whatever happened, raped, travesty.
Horrible.
And then Israel comes back and kills 2,000 people. He said, it should have been 20,000. It should have been 200,000. So I said, where are you going with this? He says, well, listen, here's what I'd like to see happen in Israel. What's that? Only Jews live in Israel. Nobody else. We don't need to coexist. It's just not going to work out. Is this a way for Netanyahu's legacy to be he eliminated Hamas? Is this his way for saying, now I got the war, I got the card, I got the, you know, get out of jail card for me to go straight up 100,000 on the blockade of Gaza Strip, 300,000 reservists you put up there. Now we're going to go groundwork. We're going all freaking out because the world gave us the permission to do so. Is that what it is? I don't know. I just keep continuing to have a lot of questions the more I think about it because so these guys are coming up. So what, are we going to have another 9/11? And they're going to come and do what? They're going to go into your community. What are they going to target next? Where are they going to go next? What's going to happen next? Oh, can we? It's not a big deal. It's never happen again. Well, that's what we thought it was never going to happen, 9/11. Before 9/11 happened, nobody thought 9/11 was going to happen. Yep. So I just have way too many questions that makes me think about what the motives are. And if we go dark, I'll put all those things out there.
Yeah.
How did these guys not know this was taking place?
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier. Right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question. The whole country is the IDF. The whole country is. Yeah. And you're trying to tell me that they're going to concerts and kibbutzes and schools and by reports 6 hours. Let's say it's 3 hours.
That's suspect. Go ahead, Rob.
It's also not like a right-wing
reporting. This is from the New York Times. The long
Thank
wait
you.
for help as massacre unfolds in Israel.
9
I can't think of a
hours.
more liberal news outlet than the New York Times.
And by the way, I'm actually very pro-Israel. So let me be very, so I'm not exactly.
Well, I think we all are.
No, I just want to make sure my position is clear here. But so Patrick, there are other explanations. It's possible that the Netanyahu government was double-crossed by bad agents. Okay? That's dark, but it's not as dark as what we're talking about. Okay? Another aspect is that Netanyahu might have traitors in his government, like legitimate traitors that have infiltrated. I was texting with some senior people in the IDF, and they said, Charlie, can't say too much, but let's just say the same problem you have with the left in America, we have here in Israel. So there's something to think about. Just something to think about, right? Is that maybe there's some people within those intel agencies that aren't as sympathetic. Or maybe, Patrick, maybe they might have gotten a tip, they might have gotten whispers, but no one thought it would be 1,200 Jews dead. That's a potential, right? Because here's the essence of it. The essence is this. This is the closest thing to the Holocaust that any of us have lived through. But the fact is now Bibi and the Israeli hard-right government has a mandate. I gotta be careful the way I say this.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Yep. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there, okay? And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do. This idea that they need to have a truce or a peace treaty, that's morally crap after you see women and children be burned alive and dragged to the streets. But there are some serious questions here, Patrick. And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right.
The next few stages and steps of everything, and we've been very intentional in a way that always keeps Charlie first and his dreams alive and his legacy going. And what's so beautiful is to see all of you step in and do that. And so part of the reason why I agreed to come on, because this is not going to be a forever thing of me being on hosting the show, was because I gave assurance to people that Turning Point USA is continuing, and it is. I mean, we are so blessed to have more work than we even could ever dream of. I mean, it's beautiful, and Turning Point Action, full steam ahead, so powerful. All of the other programs within Turning Point USA, everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone has their marching orders. And the show, when we talked about this, became very intimate for me because I was there from the beginning of all of it. The lovely Usha fans, your friendship has been an unbelievable encouragement. Thank you. And to all our friends and family that are here and watching from all around the world, thank you for loving us. Thank you for praying for us and for believing in what Charlie believed in. And to our Turning Point USA staff and the Charlie Kirk Show staff, we love you more than you could ever know. And to the Turning Point USA chapters that are watching all across America right now, you are the heartbeat of this future and of this movement.
Well, I want to, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming. This is, I think Charlie called me, I don't remember when, and said, Glenn, I want you to join me in the universities. And I'm like, are you insane? No, I don't do that, Charlie. You do that. I don't do that. And he said, no, you don't have to. We're going to put 2 chairs, and I'm going to sit in one, and I'll take all the questions. You just teach history. Thanks, Charlie. I hope I have something of value to share with you today. I have a few things. There's probably about $5 million worth of artifacts on the table behind me. I want to teach you some history that you're not being taught in school.
Everyone is my brother and sister. I will not judge them. I will love them. I will show them compassion and empathy, because everyone deserves that. Thank you.
My name is Jeb Baugh. I'm an aviation student here at the University of North Dakota. And I really liked your point, question everything. And one question I have for you, Glenn, is a lot of young American and conservatives are starting to notice that Israel has an overwhelming lobby over the United States government, and we have unconditionally supported them. We have fought their wars in the Middle East. Bibi Netanyahu came to our Congress in the 90s, told us a list of countries that we need to take out. Some were Syria, Iraq, Iran, Libya, etc. Through those wars, we have lost trillions of dollars. We have lost American servicemen. And the worst part I think about it is the fact that millions of refugees are coming to the Western world through America and Europe, are degrading our cities, destroying our Western values. The U.S.
If you have more, let me just, because that's a long list and I have a very short attention span. So let me just answer some of those here, and then you can continue your encyclopedia of questions, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Israel has a lobby. Yes. And you know who has a bigger lobby all around the world? The United States of America. It is in each country's best interest to lobby. Don't blame Israel. Blame our own politicians if they act upon it outside of the United States' interest. Because I can tell you, we're lobbying everybody else. And they will...
First or Israel first?
No one's clapping. No one's clapping for your point.
First or Israel first? It's an easy question. Charlie was America first. What are you?
Charlie was starting to notice about the Israel lobby.
Could I answer my question? Yeah, Could I answer the question, please? First of all, I'm an American first and always.
I don't know why I was born, but there is something about the state of Israel that connects deeply to me. To have the privilege to stand with the Jew is a tremendous honor, spiritually. So I want to read a letter that I wrote that I am sending to the state of Israel. To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the honorable officials at the state of Israel. In this moment, I have chosen to ask you for citizenship in the state of Israel. I have nothing to offer but my voice of support. And some might say that my support might be more valuable as an independent voice. Perhaps they're correct. But my request for citizenship is not about words, it is about deeds. Why, one might wonder, would I want to embrace a heritage and identity that is so ruthlessly hunted down again and again? Yet it is precisely during such moments that we must choose to stand. I anticipate no privileges or exemption from the state of Israel. I instead yearn to align myself with those willing to rise, to fight, and sacrifice for the fundamental right to live. Is this not what both Israel and America embody? In closing, my desire for dual citizenship does not stem from any expectation of gain, but from a deep-rooted belief in standing with what is right and true. 10 years ago, I took my children to Israel for the first time, but we first visited Auschwitz in Poland. I told them, you cannot understand Israel without the Bible or Auschwitz. May Israel remain an eternal flame of hope, a beacon of resilience, and a testament to the enduring human spirit.
First of all, I'm an American first and always. But the reason we have refugees all around the world is not Israel. It is a global system of people trying to take down the West. They are trying to just hold your peace for a minute. This is why I said, Shirley, I can't do this. What is happening is we have Islamists occupying our countries. The next war that you will face, you know what our first foreign war was? Against the Barbary pirates. They were the Islamic pirates, okay? Jefferson, when he ended that war, because nobody had the stomach for it, he said, I gotta warn you, everyone should read the Quran. He actually had I have a copy of it, printed Quran, printed for Americans to read. He didn't put out little teeny clips. He wanted every American to read the Quran. He said, because I'm telling you now, this is our first foreign war. But if we don't pay attention, I guarantee it will be our last foreign war. That is coming, whether you like it or not. That is
Albert Pike was one of the most colorful characters in American history. And in this book, in 1925, it is said that he wrote a letter to a man named Mazzini in which he described this dream. And in the dream, he predicted 3 world wars. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would then be restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Well, there are some who may argue that the terms Nazism and Zionism were not known in 1871. You should remember, however, that the Illuminati invented both of these movements. Then he has this vision, in this vision, not only 1 world war and 2 world wars, but here comes the 3rd World War. He says, and I quote, the 3rd World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. Yeah, that's what he says. The war, this was 1925. Please understand that. At least 1925. May go all the way back to 1871, as is purported to do, but at least it was written in a book and published in 1925. So he says, after World War I was just over a few years, and before World War II even started, he's now thinking about this 3rd World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm in which, in all its horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin and savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. So he's against Christianity and he's against atheism. They're supposed to fight each other to the death, you see. Then, he says, everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will, from that moment, be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowledge where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. That's what he says. Brought finally out in the public view. So he's saying that Lucifer will finally make himself, the good guy. He's going to save the world from these atheists who don't believe in deity and from these Christians who believe in the good God. Well, so it says, this manifestation will result in the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Well, now, I don't know if it's true, but I can tell you that it sure has played into what is being carried on in the Middle East today. And it looks like everything from World War I and World War II, with the development of the State of Israel, and with the Zionist movement and the communist movement and the atheist movement and the peppering down of persecution on the Christians of this world, it looks like that may be Lucifer's attempt at annihilation of us all, so that Lucifer will appear in the form, of course, of what the Bible calls the Antichrist, and establish peace on earth for mankind.
That is a plan well laid out. And yes, George Soros is a big part of it. I was the man who taught America about George Soros. One last thing. Here's my problem with this whole thing. Is it okay to set babies on fire? Is it okay to rape babies? Is it okay to kill people and have glee? Hear me out. Oh, dear God. Dear God Almighty. I will pray for you. Where was I? I don't have a problem with people saying, I have a problem with Israel. Because I'm not fighting Israel's wars. I don't want to fight Israel's war. I don't want to supply troops or arms. You can buy it. We'll sell it to you. But we're not going to fight your war. That's your war. But I believe Israel has a right to exist. I believe Jews have a right to live and not be hunted down. I know the history of the Middle East. They've been going through this forever. And even if we have a peace deal, I got news for you, gang. It's going to come undone at some point anyway. We're going to be facing the same thing over and over and over again because that's what it says in the Bible. It's going to happen. It's been going on for thousands of years. So I have no problem with you not liking what Israel is doing because I can understand it. I'm not asking for support on that. I am asking that you recognize that you are dealing with evil when you're talking about Hamas, not the Palestinian people, Hamas.
All right, so Israel has lobbies for all the countries around the world. They have lobbies for New Zealand, England, France. No Muslim has any lobbies. Another thing, you're talking about the stuff they don't teach in school. You're talking about one thing they don't teach in school? They don't teach about the USS Liberty, where Israel literally came, blew up an American ship because they want us to get in their war with Egypt, and they don't teach that in school. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question. Thank you. Guys, let me leave you on this because I I'd like to turn this around so you believe me. It says, please wrap this up. I'll take one more question, but let me just say this. We must not divide. We must not divide ourselves. We cannot divide. I don't care if you like Israel. I really don't. Please recognize there is good and there is evil. I'm not saying the Jews are good or anything. You don't have to believe any of that. I do, but you don't have to. But recognize evil when you see evil. And what is happening with Islamists is evil. It is. Beyond that, let's just not divide ourselves. We need everyone on deck. Everyone. Last question.
Hey, sir, it's an honor. I have family that have been very long-time listeners of yours, and it's just crazy that you're here, you know. And I was going to come up here and ask you about Columbus Day and renaming it to Indigenous Peoples Day, but after that conversation, I just want to ask you, I completely agree with you that there's a ton of Islamist evil in the world, and they are a bigger enemy to the United States than Israel will ever will be. But I have a question. Why is there this societal taboo around criticisms of Israel?
You're standing here in a theater voicing this. Nobody's going to arrest you. Nobody's going to say anything. I'm going to answer you. We're having a great conversation. Where is the taboo?
The taboo is, for example, AIPAC doesn't have to register as a foreign lobby, but like the Australia lobby does. And
that should be changed. That should be corrected. Look, I am not going to say Israel should have any special privileges. None. Everyone should play by the rules, exactly the same rules, period. If they're not, that should be corrected. But let's correct those things. Let's not talk about snipers behind Charlie.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
Agreed.
Good, thank you. I want to leave you on a positive. I happen to have Superman's cape and his outfit, but it was on the mannequin and I didn't want to undress it. I feel weird. So I brought this. This is from Captain America, the first movie. I wanted to share this with you for one reason. Do you know why Superman was drawn in the first place? There's two kids. I think it was Cleveland, Ohio. Two kids that saw what was happening in the world and they were freaked out of their mind. How do we solve this? There's nothing big enough. Nobody can solve this. We need a Superman. So to calm the younger brother down, the older brother, and it's still on the wall. I helped save the house. It's still on the wall. You peel off the wallpaper. There was the original Superman drawn by an older brother for his younger brother to help him sleep at night. Don't worry, there's a man of steel out there. I have to tell you, there is no man of steel. We always get into these situations and we look for superheroes. There are no superheroes. There's you. There's me. You are the ones that will save the world. Now you can choose to do the next right thing to the best ability of your understanding. You do that, and you will be Superman. Superman wasn't needed in the end, except for children.
At the end of the 1930s, as the shadows of war are haunting Europe, the Jews in Hollywood are very much afraid of warning American audiences of those dangers, because it looks as though it's a special Jewish angle. It looks parochial, it looks limited. And therefore, it's difficult to make anti-Nazi movies in Hollywood because the Jews don't want to stand out.
The Jewish fear of standing out was expressed through another icon that would make its way to the screen.
Superman was invented by two Jewish kids in the late 1930s, when there also was a worldwide upsurge in very frightening anti-Semitism. Superman is discovered like Moses in the bulrushes. He's an immigrant from another planet who comes to Earth. He has his identity as a mild-mannered intellectual, but really underneath he's the man of steel. I think that's a very suggestive Jewish fantasy. It's almost as if he's passing all the time.
While the Jew felt like an alien in America, Superman was a real alien.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Yet incredibly, he is the only superhero who manages to keep his identity secret without wearing a mask. Only Jews could have created a story based on the premise that all one needs is a Gentile demeanor to hide in plain sight.
I bet you recognize him. Why, of course you recognize him. It's Adenoid Hinkle, the Fooey of Tomania.
Like Superman, the Hollywood moguls were unwilling to risk their Gentile disguise. As a result, only 2 anti-Nazi films were made before the war. Charlie Chaplin financed and made the classic film The Great Dictator. Chaplin was neither Jewish nor American, so he didn't share the fears of the Hollywood Jews. Warner Brothers made Confessions of a Nazi Spy only after their Jewish representative in Germany was beaten to death by Hitler's henchmen. Incredibly, this Hollywood film about the dangers of Nazism makes no reference to either Jews or anti-Semitism. All this changed on December the 7th, 1941, with the attack on the U.S. Navy at Pearl Harbor by Hitler's Japanese allies. Now, instead of telling Hollywood to keep quiet, the U.S. government began pushing them to fulfill their duty and make patriotic war movies.
All that noise you hear isn't static. It's death coming to London. Yes, they're coming here now. You can hear the bombs falling on the streets and the homes. Don't tune me out. Hang on a while. This is a big story, and you're part of it. It's too late to do anything here now except stand in the dark and let them come. It's as if the lights were all out everywhere, except in America. Keep those lights burning. Cover them with steel. Ring them with guns. Build a canopy of battleships and bombing planes around them. Hello, America. Hang on to your
It's a wonderful time for the Hollywood Jews. I mean, here were a group of Jews who had spent their lives seeking legitimacy and seeking to be embraced by America. And World War II finally affords them that opportunity to be embraced officially. They are now real patriots.
Will you check with MGM and see if they'll postpone the Hedy Lamarr picture so we can use her for the bond drive? Surely. RKO just okayed Cary Grant. We'll hear from Paramount later today on Colbert and Dick Powell. Oh, swell. Double check with Boyer and Abbott and Costello, will you? Right away, yeah. The priority on Irene Dunn has just come through. She'll leave on the 16th. Fine, fine.
The motion picture industry today is supplying without charge all its newest and best feature films to the U.S. War Department Overseas Film Division.
The movies were a tremendous propagandistic tool during this time. They set up camps for the soldiers to come back in where movies were shown 24 hours a day because that impressed the soldiers with what they were fighting for.
It was the beginning of an unprecedented alliance between Washington and Hollywood.
A little girl, she was wondering what Charlie Kirk might say to us today. And I debated whether or not to share this or not because, you know, AI and all this stuff, but she asked AI, what would Charlie Kirk say to us today or say to me today? And really all AI is, they take the fullness of a man's words recorded and they crunch all that together and they answer a question the way he may answer it. It's not perfect, but it does take the person's, what they live for, what they were all in for in life. And so she asked AI that question, and this was Charlie's response.
First, I want you to know I'm fine, not because my body is fine, but because my soul is secure in Christ. Death is not the end, it's a promotion. Don't waste 1 second mourning me. I knew the risks of standing up in this cultural moment, and I'd do it all over again. Second, do not let this violence divide us further. The enemy wants chaos, fear, and retaliation. Don't give it to them. Instead, double down on truth. Double down on courage. Double down on your faith and on your families. That is how you honor me. Third, remember this. America is worth it. Free speech is worth it. Fighting for the unborn, for families, for sanity in a culture gone mad, it is all worth it. So dry your tears, pick up your cross, and get back in the fight. Do it with joy, do it with strength, and never ever let evil think it won.
Me a clip. I think it was created, no, it was created on AI, artificial intelligence, from the words of Charlie Kirk. I was so moved just to hear it between services. You're hearing something the first service didn't. But I want you to watch this clip and hear what Charlie is saying regarding what happened to him this past week.
First, I want you to know I'm fine, not because my body is fine, but because my soul is secure in Christ. Death is not the end. It's a promotion. Don't waste 1 second mourning me. I knew the risks of standing up in this cultural moment, and I'd do it all over again. Second, do not let this violence divide us further. The enemy wants chaos, fear, and retaliation. Don't give it to them. Instead, double down on truth. Double down on courage. Double down on your faith and on your families. That is how you honor me. Third, remember this. America is worth it. Free speech is worth it. Fighting for the unborn, for families, for sanity in a culture gone mad, it is all worth it. So dry your tears, pick up your cross, and get back in the fight. Do it with joy, do it with strength, and never ever let evil think it won.
Amen. I think that's pretty much exactly what Charlie would have said.
Following the cross of Christ. My name is Stephen, and I was stoned for proclaiming Christ as Lord.
My name is Peter, and I was crucified for my faith in Jesus.
My brothers and sisters, root yourself in a Bible-believing church. Pray for your enemies, for our battle is spiritual. It's time to awaken your faith. Rise up, speak truth without fear, and overwhelm the world with Jesus.
Try that again.
We're here because of the comments you made online about the Jewish community. Are you
So what?
No, I'm saying, are you?
I have a freedom of speech, dude.
Yeah, no, we get that. We get that.
We gotta make sure that you're not. Do you have a warrant?
No.
No, that's why we're here. You see that sign? Yeah. So that says no soliciting. What you're doing is basically soliciting. You understand that, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It means you're not welcomed here. Okay. Okay. Bye. Okay. Stay off the lawn, please. This is what they're doing, guys. You make comments about the Jews online, they'll fucking show up at your door. This is what they do. This is freedom of speech. This is how much control Israel has over our country.
Breaking news this morning. We found more on the Charlie Kirk situation.
Oh, wow. Did they finally admit it was an exit wound?
Not quite. Let's ask our investigators at Jake GTV News.
Good thing normies don't know how strong a 30-06 is, but here's Terry Farnsworth, the dude who took the SD cards, voted sketchiest character of the month. You guys have got to see this.
Okay, so not only does he take the SD cards and refuse to give it out, he was taking a selfie video and the first to pronounce him dead. Like, what the heck? Just ask Candace.
But this second close friend of Charlie chose to run just a few yards away up to a grassy knoll to take out his phone. A couple of seconds later, he takes out his phone and he begins recording himself.
They just shot Charlie.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
Okay, so let's get this straight. He was the camera guy, but who hired him?
Definitely not Israel. Like, definitely not.
Yeah.
The chief of staff, Mikey McCoy, was in charge of the setup and seen mid-call walking away just as Charlie is shot. Check it out.
Thanks, Ching Chong. Okay, so there he goes. He's already on the phone call. He's just walking off.
Exactly what they said. It's a closed case. We may not have any confession or evidence, but this is what Charlie would have wanted.
Noticing is antiseptic. Back to you, John.
Great point, Tiffany. This would also be a great time to remind us who we can't criticize. Steineberg, take it away.
Thanks, Goya. Now, according to my Talmud, you can never undermine our right to rule over you, and if we get caught lying, refer to the pizza cost. It's not easy being chosen.
Thanks, Steinberg. Ever since Kash Patel covered up the Epstein files, we knew we could count on him for this.
What a remarkably efficient cover-up.
Right, Candace?
It's an honor to be here with you today as the 9th director of the FBI. I want to provide by providing a briefing into the tragic assassination of Charlie Kirk. We were able to extract video from the campus feed. A few hours later, that suspect was in custody, pursuant to the interrogation of the suspect's own father, who stated, "When I saw that video that you released, I recognized it was my son, and I confronted him, and he was handed over to lawful law enforcement authorities."
Yeah, personally, I think Charlie got JFK'd, but what do I know?
I think it was more like MLK Jr. because we're too busy saying, "I have a dream."
That's a funny joke, Rebecca. Why don't you pack your things and head outside? Producer Berg is waiting for you with a pager.
Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a video, and it's mainly because we moved out to a new place, as some of you know, and I finally escaped city life. And we moved to a countryside, a house with some land. And of course, as you imagine, it's all new for me. It's difficult, and I'm still trying to adjust, to adapt to this new lifestyle. So that's where I've been the past few months. I'll probably do an update, a bigger one, with more insights, maybe even showing this place. We'll see. But yeah, I'll go back to my normal format, making videos. And speaking about videos and conspiracies, what do you think about Charlie Kirk and the whole situation? His Turning Point USA movement was blatantly co-opted, or should I say psy-opted, by Israeli shills, by agents. I mean, it's difficult even to grasp, but even by his so-called wife. You saw how she was hugging Mr. President, right? Well, that should tell us something about her. The scope of infiltration is very difficult to grasp sometimes, but it is what it is. I personally haven't followed any of Charlie's work. I mean, obviously I knew what he was trying to do. I've seen his stuff online, I've seen his debates, and I certainly don't agree with everything the guy said, especially with his Roman Catholic stance, like venerating Mary. I don't agree with that.
But let me first say, I think we as Protestant evangelicals under-venerate Mary. She was very important. She was a vessel for our Lord and Savior. I think that we as evangelicals and Protestants, we've overcorrected. We don't talk about Mary enough. We don't venerate her enough. Mary was clearly important to early Christians. There's something there. In fact, I believe one of the ways that we fix toxic feminism in America is Mary is the solution. Have more young ladies be pious, be reverent, to be full of faith, slow to anger, slow to words at times. Mary is a phenomenal example, and I think a counter to so much of the toxicity of feminism in the modern era.
But I think he might have been on the right track, and Israel saw his potential in reaching the masses, big audiences, and they silenced him. It's not the first time that this has happened. But I'm glad that people are not stupid. Not everyone is a moron, and I'm glad that it's getting more obvious as time goes by, that it's getting more attention. People analyze things. It's just crazy. Also how well, if you need any more proof that the churches will be used for the benefit of the Antichrist, I mean, you saw it yourself. They're playing AI generated Charlie. They even made his face, recreated his voice, and those idiots on the stage said that listen what Charlie has to say. I mean, my mind is blown. It's probably some demonic entity speaking through that AI stuff, and they're saying listen to what Charlie has to say. I mean, it's crazy. But I can see the direction where all of this is going, and it's total nightmare. It's going to be unimaginable in the time of Jacob's trouble, and we see that development happening as we speak. I've read some articles about how they will try to launch CBDC in 2029, and I don't know. It's something to look out for, as usual, because it will lead to the mark of the beast. There's no doubt about it. It's probably not the end with Charlie. I think it will grow into something bigger. I think more lies will be exposed. God will reveal all this stuff. Everything hidden will be revealed. Nothing will be restrained. I will continue my work. I've opened up Etsy store again. So if you want to check it out, you can support me that way. I've lowered the prices just because, you know, maybe I made the mistake at the beginning with a bit higher prices than I should have put them, but I'm learning. Hopefully you're learning. But yeah, as I'll get more free time, I will keeping my eye on things and making new videos, trying to connect the dots, and everything needs time. So everything needs time, and I have to maintain this place as well, physically. So expect more videos. I hope you're taking care of yourself, your families as well. Okay guys, so enough of me rambling. Also expect new designs on Etsy store. I've got some ideas. My wife has some ideas as well. So yeah, let's try and get this information out. That's going to be it for me, and have a great day guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.